I'm sorry, position fixed. And we want it to align perfectly with that first, go back over to the site. So we want it to align perfectly straight down here, right? So we want to give it the same width as that. And just go ahead and give it a border as well. That way it's 426 pixels. That way we can tell where everything's at.
420 pixels?
26.
Oh. 26 pixels. And then, we're giving it a height?
Give it a, I'll show you how to do the height here in a second. Give it a border first.
Okay. 1 pixel. Solid.
All right?
Black.
Yep. Well, you can leave it. Yeah, black's automatic. So save that, and let's go over to the page and let's talk through this. All right. So as we know, now that it's fixed, it's outside of the flow of the document, right? So so it's very confusing, but that's not what I was getting at. What I was getting at is I'm really surprised that. Let me see something here real quick. No, you're good. Stay there.
The reason that that's doing that is
Because it's fixed. Yep.
Now.
Yeah, we'll fix that here in a second. So what we want to do now is position this fixed aside, right? So we want it to go all the way from the bottom, right? So go ahead and give it a fixed. We want to position it on the bottom. That by default it's positioned to the left, right? That's why it's on the left side of the screen. We want to put it all the way to the bottom. So we're going to do bottom 0. And exit out of that inspect elements when you see it. All right, so we've kind of done this in a roundabout way before, but it's kind of extra credit. Who can guess how we need to do it to make it so that it goes all the way to not all the way to the top of the page, but to right below the header?
Would it be top 0?
Top 50.
So Todd said top 50. So remember when if we do top 0, it's going to go all the way to the top of the page, right? I mean, we could give it a margin of 50 pixels at the top and push everything down. But another way you could just do it is give it a top 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try it out.
Does it know it's pixels or it's 50 pixels?
Yeah, 50 pixels. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I don't understand
PX.
where you're getting the top 50 pixels from, but I think I might have missed
Go back over. Let's make sure that works. All right, because what you're saying is you want it to, basically you're telling it like fixed. So it's a fixed position. By default, I mean, we could put it in there, but by default it's going to be on the left, right? So it has a left to 0. And then what we're saying, and we gave it the width. So it's going to go 0 to whatever the width is, right? What we're saying is we want it to be at the bottom, and we want it to go all the way to the 50 pixels from the top. That's basically what you're saying to it.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan, tell me if this is correct, my understanding, but the way position fixed works is that you have top, bottom, right, left, and then 0 just means like, how far from that edge, or if you specify some pixels, well, it's this many pixels from that edge. So
Exactly.
You could specify all 4, top, bottom, right, left, and it'll
Yeah,
have some block in the middle where that stuff is positioned.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And I mean, obviously, the only downfall is if the only one we haven't really specified here is the right one, but that's because we want to keep it at that width. I mean,
try that. Go in and put in right 12 pixels or right 30 pixels and see what happens. It's interesting.
well, it moved it right 30 pixels because we haven't put in a left yet. Yeah, now put in a.
30 pixels and see what happens. In addition to the right, put in left 30 pixels.
Don't change it. No, he's saying in addition, as well as. So right and left 30
If you
pixels.
don't have all four, what's to do with that? Left 30 pixels, particularly when we've set a width.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I've never done that before.
So then go back to
Oh, you know why it's doing that? Because we have the width, and the
Below
left is,
overriding it.
yeah. If you take out the width, use that mouse. It's easier. See the mouse? You got it. Right? So now it goes all the way from 30 pixels on the left all the way to 30 pixels on the right.
bottom,
See that?
0 on the bottom and 50 on the top.
Yep. You got that.
And if you have the width, then because that second CSS rule was below, that was the one that took the priority.
Yep. Yeah. Since right came second, or left came second, and we had the width in, that's why left took priority. So go ahead and take out left and right. There you go. So we have it the way we want it.
So now we need to give the content, the main content, a width.
Go ahead and like copy these chapters over again. Keep copying them until they're going off the page. All right.
And it's got a way to copy that.
Oh yeah. How?
With numbers. You got the curly braces puts contents within tags. And
Right,
the
right.
dollar sign gives you numbers in order.
Hold on. What sign does? I never heard that. How would you do it?
Just like curly braces chapter dollar sign.
I guess I can get rid of this guy. I don't really need that.
You put the LIA in rows.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, with all that. Got you. And then times it by.
And then, yeah, the curly braces within the tags.
Save that. All right, so we can see it's coming off the screen now. Now scroll down. You can't scroll down, right?
No.
All right, cool. So all you have to do is give that an aside and overflow scroll. All right? So as simple as that.
So I thought you were going to do that with iframes. That surprised me. That's cool.
Yeah. Hold on, with what?
Like an iframe or something.
Oh, I've never done that before.
That's like the old school way. They don't recommend it.
All right.
It's not a good practice.
All right.
That's a little, I was like, he's showing us iframes. All right, let's see where this goes.
All right, so now let's talk through how to style the article, right? So can you go back over to the site? So let's talk through how we want to get the article to be in the rest of this container. I mean, the rest of this area, right? So does anybody have any ideas? Do what? Push it over? So how do we push things over? Padding or what's the other one? Margin, there we go. Okay. So all we have to do really is we can just simply give this article a margin left of more than whatever the aside's width is. So what's a good one? Like
Well, it's 400.
so like 431 or something, or 436 maybe, to give it like 10 pixels space there.
So that's a good conversation point, margin versus padding. I heard somebody suggest maybe padding, somebody else suggested margin. Why one versus the other? What are your thoughts on that, Ryan?
See, well, until you proved me wrong just yesterday, I've always been under the school of thought to go with padding if you can. The reason why is because, if you have, two elements that, padding's more explicit in the sense that if you have, like a block element right here with a margin bottom of 10, and you have a block element right here with a margin bottom of 10, they're going to they're going to take the smaller one. Does that make sense? Like they're not going to add up to be 20, right? Whereas padding's more explicit, they would add it up. They would add up to be 20. That's so. I've always done padding, but right here I can't think of a reason why you would choose one or the other.
Margin collapse wouldn't come into play.
Margin collapse, exactly. So that's why I've always done padding, but then yesterday when we came across that border box sizing, it kind of alarmed me, like,
We did padding right here. What's that look like?
it'll look the same just because we have no,
Same?
yeah.
And then go back up and put on box sizing, border box, Nina. Or is it border box? Box sizing, which is it?
It's already up there. Box sizing,
Yeah, baby.
the box comes outside the border.
Teach. I'm sorry, babe. I've been doing
No, I like it.
I'm like the prisoner who just keeps going back to jail. Just can't sit and be a student anymore. I gotta keep being.
Well, good. Then we'll get you up here to do the responsiveness of the site.
So what's did you put box sizing, border box on?
It's already up there.
Already up.
Oh, and then padding still did it?
Yeah, because we didn't specify a width. Right? So it only does that if we specify a width, right? Well, we just said 436 because we gave 10 pixels of spacing afterwards. The one thing I'm surprised by
I've learned
is
a lot from you, Ryan.
Surprised by what?
the one thing I'm not wrapping my head around unless I'm seeing something wrong is oh, never mind. I was trying to figure out why this was pushed down 50 pixels, but I forgot we gave the header, we gave the body a margin top of 50 pixels. All right, cool. Everyone, does that make sense to everybody? So let's try to reproduce this on our yes. Can you go back to that real quick? He's asking a
Give
question.
the body a margin
Top of 50 pixels.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry, what? You go back to the site real quick. Thank you.
Define that article, right, the width,
Yep.
and you use margin to bump it over. Wouldn't you want to save the padding for actually padding the element? once
Yes.
it's over there?
Yeah. So if you wanted to specify a width, but I wouldn't specify a width on this, right? Because then it'll take away the responsiveness, right? Like so, if we with this margin of margin to the left and margin to the top, like as long as we move that screen like the yeah, thank you. So right, so it's always going to stay, to the right of this, versus if you specified a width, then it would change. It wouldn't be as responsive. And I know I'm doing a terrible job of explaining that, but
That makes sense.
So aside from defining the width then, but still reserve the padding to be padding? Am I making sense?
Well,
on that?
we used margin left in the end.
Yes.
We only put padding because we were just testing it. But we
yeah. So here's the deal. Like,
margin left.
will you go back to the site one more time? So like with margin left, right? We pushed it all the way to the right, right? All the way to here, right? And then we have margin top. I'm not tall enough, but imagine an arrow pushing it down, right? So the element itself is going to be constrained into that window that we have, right? So then if you give another 10 pixels or however much of padding, it'll do that, well, not from the bottom, but it'll do that from each side as well. Does that make sense? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Why would you use your padding until you needed it for typography to tighten up the layout?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, either way. You could add it on top, whatever you want. All right. Any other questions? Good question. Thank you for asking that. And guys, if y'all want me to, I'm just trying, sorry to interrupt. I'm just, trying to get us to wrap our heads around different types of layouts, but we can easily go into like styling these, right? Like if we wanted to, we would give, well, our reset already gives it a list style of none, right? and we could take off the color of the link, right? And list items are blocks, so we could do some padding so that they'd get some spacing correctly and all that. Does that all make sense?
Show of hands, how many people appreciate the focus upon layout? Show of hands, how many people would rather focus on something else?
You advanced.
That's coming. You're gonna be sufficiently challenged in the next couple of weeks.
All right, cool. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Well, this one's like back a little bit. On the border box when you use that, do you still get the border collapse like you do when you don't have that?
Can you be a little more specific on the border?
Since using the box sizing border box,
Okay.
since that's containing everything in, do we now lose the margin collapse when you put items on top of each other? Not the margin, the border collapse.
No, the border collapse, what do you mean?
Well, because sometimes you put the same border on top and they just merge the understanding of it evenly all around, and not specific.
I've never seen what you, I'll answer her. I'll come down there. Thank you, Nina. Good job, Nina. Guys, take like 10, 15 minutes, to try to reproduce that on yours. Hold on, what do you mean?
The margin collapse.
Right.
Does that change at all?
No, because